Hi, I'm Mrs. Helwig, and I'm going to teach protein synthesis today using a model that you've cut out. So what I want to do is just kind of go over the model that you have in front of you. You all have, it's like a paper cutout. So to give you a little background, we're going to start out with the screen, and it shows protein synthesis and the role of cell organelles. So we went over earlier in the year the cell and the organelles. So what I want you to see here is we're going to look at the Golgi body and how the Golgi body stores and packages protein. It's going to modify all the proteins that go into it, and when they come out of the Golgi, they'll come out totally different. Then we've got ribosomes. They're the site of protein synthesis. They either can be found on the endoplasmic reticulum, which is rough, so we call it the rough ER, or they can also be found out here in the cytoplasm. The next feature I want you to look at is the nucleus. The nucleus is in the cell. It's the control center of the cell, much like the brain, and it's the site where transcription is going to occur. That's where DNA will be made into messenger RNA. Here we have, in this right here and here, we have mitochondria. The mitochondria supply ATP for cellular processes, so they're necessary for cell respiration. Then we have from the nuclear envelope to the cell membrane, this whole area in here is the cytoplasm. This is where ribosomes can be found, transfer RNA, amino acids, and translation will occur in the cytoplasm. Here's the cell membrane. This is the membrane in which proteins will be exported out by exocytosis. The nucleolus can be found inside the nucleus right here, and that's for ribosomal RNA production. So this was what is making the ribosomes for protein synthesis. A nuclear pore is just a pore in which messenger RNA can leave the nucleus after it's made and transcribed from the DNA, and it can enter into the cytoplasm. So these are the roles of these cell organelles, and this picture and information was found at this URL right here, and you can find that online at that URL. So today my job is to make you understand how protein synthesis works, and we're going to talk about how DNA will be made into RNA, which will then be made into a protein, which will then give us a trait. So we have to give a little background information here on what is a protein. A protein's a polymer made of 20 different amino acids, which are monomers, that are joined together by peptide bonds to form a polypeptide chain. So a lot of times we'll call proteins polypeptides. Why do we need proteins anyway? Well, these are the names. This column, you'll see the name of the protein, the function, and an example for each protein. So in this chart, we're going to start out with the first protein that's necessary in your body, and that's called enzymes. Enzymes are proteins. They're globular proteins which catalyze reactions. They can speed up chemical reactions. An enzyme that's found in your mouth breaks down starch in your mouth to maltose. Hormones are another form of protein, and some hormones are proteins and others are steroids. And an example of a hormone that's protein is insulin. Antibodies are also a type of protein that are globular proteins that assist you in the defense of foreign particles. Antibodies that are found in your body actually help with your immune system. Then we have here structural proteins. An example of a structural protein is collagen, which is a fibrous structural protein which builds tendons and is an important part of your skin. So an example of a structural protein would be collagen. Another type of protein that we've talked about earlier is the parts of your cell membrane. Those proteins that we talked about that were transport proteins or carrier proteins, those are proteins that are critical parts of the cell membrane, and they'll help with the transport of substances to get them into and out of the cell. Then we've got the sixth type of protein is hemoglobin. Hemoglobin is a protein found in red blood cells that binds to oxygen, and because of this heme group that's attached to it allows oxygen to bind so that it can get oxygen to the rest of your body. So hemoglobin is an example of a type of protein in your body. So we're going to stop there, and then I want you to go to part 2, in which we're going to start with the types of RNA, and then we'll start right in with transcription. There's going to be 3 parts to this video, so this is part 1. So look for part 2 next.